Let's begin. Today's June 28th, 2024, and we're solving the Daily Turing Machine Puzzle. Today's puzzle uses 5 criteria cards and it's 5 verification cards. Let's go to turingmachine.info for the details. So today's puzzle uses the following 5 criteria cards. Criteria card 1, 13, 16, 18, and 19. And the puzzle uses the green verification cards. The code above is your way to get more information on today's puzzle by searching the code on turingmachine.info. Let's go solve. So in our grid above, we've got our 5 criteria cards. On the top row, we've got criteria card A, criteria card B, and criteria card C. And on the bottom row, we've got criteria card D and criteria card E. So criteria card A looks at the first digit, the triangle digit, and the Turing Machine will let us know whether its value is equal to 1 or is greater than 1. Criteria card B looks at the middle and last digit, the square and circle, and are comparing them. So the Turing Machine will let us know whether the square value should be less than circle, perhaps it should be equal to circle, or perhaps square should be greater than circle. Criteria card C looks at the 3-digit solution, the 3 digits, and will let us know something about the ratio of even to odds. So should there be more even than odds, or should there be less even than odds? Criteria card D looks at all 3 digits, triangle, square, and circle, adds their digits together, and the Turing Machine will let us know whether the sum of the 3 digits should be an even quantity or an odd quantity. And finally, criteria card E looks at the first 2 digits, triangle and square, adds them together, and will compare that sum to the number 6. So should triangle and square add up to be less than 6, equal to 6, or should the sum be greater than 6? Remember, the objective of today's puzzle is to find this unique 3-digit code that abides by all of the 5 criteria cards we just discussed. And we're going to start off with the initial proposal of 314. So the first thing I want to test is I want to know a little bit about the ratio of even to odds. So I'm going to test criteria card C. Okay, so the Turing Machine approves of my proposal. Notice that in 314, I do have 2 odds to a single even. So that means that there are less even than odds. So that's what I'm going to type up in section C. Even is less than odd. So what that could be is, just like in my proposal, I could have 2 odds to a single even, or potentially they could all be odd. And so I think criteria card D will let us know a little bit more. So let me go ahead and test criteria card D. Okay, so again, the Turing Machine does approve of the proposal 314. Since I am taking the sum of all the digits together, let's do that. So 3 plus 1 is 4, and 4 plus 4 is 8. So the Turing Machine is letting me know that the sum of the 3 digits should be an even quantity. So let me go ahead and type that up in section D. That triangle plus square plus circle should be even. And so what does that mean for our overall even to odd ratio? Well, remember, we do have more odds than evens, but we want our total sum to stay even. So that means I am dealing with 2 odds and a single even. The reason is that the sum of 2 odds is an even quantity, and I want that 3rd digit to be even so that the overall sum remains even. So an even plus an even remains even. So let me go ahead and put the notes in here that I'll say 2 odds and 1 even. Okay. Now again, we don't know, which one is the even one and the other 2 odd. We don't know that yet. So what can we do? So we do have this criteria card E that would typically, sometimes the sum of the triangle and square are even, meaning it's 6. So it could be some kind of combination of 1, 5, 5, 1, or maybe even a 3, 3. That's if it is equal to 6 using our two odds. But I don't have 6 in my sum, so I think I'm going to, and again, of the two odds, we don't know if they're equal. They could be equal, so maybe square and circle are the odds, and triangle would be even. Trying to think of which one would give us a better chance going to the second round. So here we're looking at square circle, here we're looking at triangle square. I think let me go ahead and test. I'm going to test criteria card E. I'm going to go for it. So let's see, what do we get? Okay, so it does not agree with my proposal. Notice that if I do add up the first two digits, I get a sum of 4, which is less than 6. So that's not true. So the sum is either equal to 6 or greater than 6. So let me go ahead and write that up in my notes in section E. Triangle plus square should be either equal to 6 or greater than 6. And that does it for this round. We've already done our 3 Turing tests. So now we're going into the phase where we're discussing how to construct a good second round proposal. So I did not test criteria card A, finding out a little bit more about triangle. And maybe in retrospect, I'm not sure, that might have been better. We would have at least eliminated the 1, I guess. We could have. You know what? Yeah, and I think this clue for E, I don't think we can actually cross out anything, because it could be 6, so it could be as small as 1, because you could add it to 5, and then any other combination of digits besides 1 and a bigger number would give us greater than 6. So yeah, so we really did not cross out anything. The only thing we definitely know is we do have 2 odds to a single even, and so yeah, so that really, I don't know. We'll see when we begin the second round. So continuing with thinking about a second round proposal. So again, we do know that it could be 6, so that means you'd have the 2 odds, which means that somehow circle would have to be forced into an even. So the question is, what would that look like? So we do have this square digit comparing the circle. So it could be that circle is smaller than square, which could mean that, if it is a 6, it could be a 1, 5. But then what would it be less than? It'd be less than both 2 and 4, which wouldn't be helpful. So yeah, so let's see. If it is going to be a 6, it's got to be the 2 odds. That's no doubt. So the question then becomes, if it's 6, it'd be 3, 3, and then potentially, I guess it could be less than or greater than, right? And so it could be 3, 3, 2, 3, 3, 4, depending on criteria card B. So let's see, we're looking at a sum that's greater than or equal to 6. So that means it would have to be, triangle would have to be greater. And again, if it's equal to 6, it has to have those two odds. So that would mean it would have to be either a 3 or a 5. If it's 5, it would be 5, 1. And then, but that would not lead you to 2 or 4 because they're both greater than. So yeah, it wouldn't be 5, 1. If it's 6 and that's not the case, then it could be 3, 3. And then you pick your 2 or 4. So the question is, do you have enough information to say, no, it can't be 5, 1? So it's 6, it's greater than 1. That would be 5, 1. But yeah, you would have to eliminate 5, 1, 2, 4 because those are ambiguous solutions. So yeah, let me go ahead and go with 3, 3, and we'll say 4, where square is less than circle. Okay, yeah, so let's do that. Let's do 3, 3, 4. Let's see if my intuition is anywhere close to that. So again, the whole premise was that I based it on criteria card E, where it's 6. So let's see. Yes, okay, it is 6. Okay, so I'm feeling pretty good about the 3, 3 now. So we know it can't be greater than. Okay. Can we do it in one task? So let's see. And again, well, okay, so because we know it's 6, the only way you could do that is if you have two odds. So, okay, so that means that yes, I can cross out all my evens. Okay, we got at least that out of the way. Finally cross something out. Okay. And of course, and that would mean that circle is the even, so we can cross out all of the odds. So, you know, two tests of E, C, and D finally netted us 4 and 3, 7 crossed out digits. It was finally, you know, finally saw some fruits from that labor there. Okay, so we still don't know. So it could either be one. Let's look at 1, 5 and 5, 1. So if it is 1, it forces it to be a 5. But of course, both 2 and 4 are less than the circle values are both less than the square value. Ambiguous. And I think the same thing. 5, 1, well, both 2 and 4 are greater. So yeah, I strongly believe that it is 3, 3. So I think I'm going to skip criteria card A, and the only thing I need to test seems to be B. So let me go ahead and test B. That's where I went wrong. Okay, so I feel confident that, of course, it can't be equal because you have an odd and an even, and it's not true that square is less than circle, since I chose 3 for square and 4 for circle. So it should be the other way around. It should be that square should be greater than circle. So let me go ahead and write that up for criteria card B, that square, which one did I do last? I think it was a square. Let's see. Yes, it's square. All right, so square should be greater than circle. So we'll cross that out. I'm sorry, we'll cross out, let's see, if square has to be greater than circle, then square can't be a 1. Can't be a 1. Because if it's greater, then, well, hold on. Yeah, if square is 1 and it's supposed to be greater, what could be less than 1? Nothing. And is that the only thing I could cross out? I don't think I can cross out the 4 because obviously that is smaller than 5. Yeah. Okay. So, but again, the whole premise was that I didn't believe it could be 1-5 or 5-1 because of the ambiguity. And I still, well, let's just do this. So I know square is not 1, so that means triangle can't be 5 because that's the only way to get 6 using square with 1. Okay, so now you're left with 1 and 5. And again, if you add them up, both 2 and 4 are less than, which is true, right? We've already confirmed it, but which one do you pick? There's no other criteria that helps us eliminate it. So yeah, I think I'm just going to cross out the 1 and then cross out the 5 for square. And then because square is now 3 and it's supposed to be greater than circle, that means it can't be 4, which makes sense since I chose 3, 3, 4. It should be in fact 3, 3, 2. And one final little note is I'm just going to say I deduce that triangle is greater than 1. Okay, and so I'm saying that the solution should be 3, 3, 4. And so again, if the deduction is right, yes, of course, the first digit is larger than 1. Yes, it's true. Oh, my apologies. It should be a 2. Okay, it's already there. So yeah, so I'm glad I double checked. That's why this review is so important in my opinion. So yeah, so square and middle digit is greater than circle, the last digit. There are 2 odds to an even, and so the sum of them is an even, and the sum of the first 2 is equal to 6. So it looks like we got a winner, and we may still tie with the Turing Machine because I still did 2 5s, even though I was able to skip criteria card A, but we'll see, one step at a time. So let's take a look at the solution and verify 3, 3, 2. 3, 3, 2, and verify. Okay, fantastic. But now let's actually confirm if we beat the Turing Machine or not. I think even this deduction, I think it might have helped us. So what did we do? We did C, D, and then E and B were both wrong, and then we did E again, and it was correct. We skipped A. So C, D, E, B, E. So C, D, E was wrong. In the second round, B was wrong. But we did get E. So I guess B was the one that was the odd. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's go and confirm or see how we did. And so yeah, we still did beat the Turing Machine by 1. I was thinking that perhaps maybe we would have tied it, but yeah. So having to skip criteria card A because of ambiguous solutions, so to speak, and so yeah. So I think it was a great solve. What do you think? Please do give some feedback on by adding a comment. If you notice something else that would be helpful to the community, that'd be great. Please, I would love to hear from you. If you did like the video, please give it a thumbs up so that other folks can find this channel. And if you don't want to miss out on any future videos, please hit subscribe to be notified. Well, until next time, have a great one.